I want to pose a question to you. One that isn't asked of me, but that I ask of you. And that is this: why does it matter that you and I, that the church understands sexual truth? Why does it matter that we have a sexual theology to answer these questions? You know what? It's not because our hearts need healed, but they do. Oh, they do. You see, the answer lies in the fact that the word yada shows up 900 times in the Old Testament and then can be traced in Genesis in its Greek form all the way to Revelation, because you see, it shows up again and again and again to describe that intimate connection between husband and wife, that moment of being known and respected, but not nearly as many times as the word shows up in verses like this one. Be still and know, yada, that I am God. Sex really is just a picture of the greatest spiritual truth that there is. That there's a God that created us and desires to know us. Can you wrap your mind around the fact that He desires to know you? He desires to be known by you. He desires to be respected. And can you even begin to think about the fact that He wants to have a relationship of respect with you? It's just a romance. This relationship that we have with God is just a romance. And as broken as we may be, you know, I want to ask you, how do you heal? How do you take your sexual brokenness and heal so you can be in an intimate yada relationship with God? Maybe you think your sin is too big. I did when I was sitting where you are. I thought it was just too big. I wanted to be a missionary. I wanted to be something really great for God, but I blew it with my sexual sin. So I'll just go into the corporate workforce and hide and sit in the back pew at church. But then you know what I found out is that King David, who is among the greatest of sexual sinners, because not only did he commit premeditated adultery, but then he tried to cover it up with murder. All through Psalm 51, do you know what he cries out to God? He cries out to God for yada. And you know what's amazing about the word is that it's almost always used in context with the word hesed, which is his covenant-staying love. You see, yada is present not only on the honeymoon night for a man and a wife when everything's picture perfect and wonderful and there's just hopes, but 20 years later when everything is tested, it still is. And God's love is no different. And when David called upon God's yada, hesed, love, back in the day when the law required him to be punished because the prophet had found him out, he is not. In fact, he is restored. And Scripture tells us he goes on to become a man after God's own heart. I wonder how many men after God's own heart are sitting in this room right now, but you're stuck in the mire of your sexual sin. I wonder how many women after God's own heart. Listen, if God can trump with his yada, hesed love, the adultery and murder of a king, he can handle your porn problem. He can handle your addiction to masturbation. He can handle the fact that you're sitting next to someone that you're sexually active with right now. He can handle it. The question I leave you with is this: if your sexual relationship has the power to be a picture of the greatest spiritual truth there is. That there is a God who loves you and wants to know you. And when he looks down on this earth, the one thing that helps us to understand that is a picture of the love and the knowing that he desires is a pure and holy marriage bed. If that is what your sexuality and your marriage one day or today, if the case may be, if it has that power and that potential, let me ask you this. How motivated do you think Satan is to see that picture destroyed in your life?